Canada Day was this week. There's some pretty cool dancers here from Prince George. We're going to get the chance to represent Canada on the world stage at the Dance World Cup in Spain. We're going to meet them today on the show. Plus, we're going to tell you about a short form movie, filming in Prince George. It's called Hypnonaut. Take you on that set and so much more on CKPG today. Of course, our show is all about showcasing what happens in our community. And there's a lot that happens you probably have no idea that it's even happening. Like, would you believe me if I told you inside one of these buildings here on 3rd Avenue, they're doing a full-fledged film set, even for a horror film? It's true. They're doing it right now. It's called Hypnonaut, and we're going to go check it out on the show today. Come on inside.
What we could do is shoot some of the, like when he's screaming and looking at her, like that shot, and Sidgen's kind of looking at her.
If you look around, it looks a little spooky, a little creepy. John, tell me a little bit about what you're doing in here.
We are filming a movie, a short one. It's a sci-fi horror, light on the horror, more on the sci-fi genre. It's a film about a insomniac, Jacob Calgary, who has a very rare form of insomnia known as fatal familiar insomnia, which is the only form of insomnia that's actually lethal. Oh. So it's something that people don't really have anymore. It was more prevalent during like the 1800s, 1600s, around there somewhere. It's kind of an old thing. It's a genetic kind of type of disease. So most of the people that have had it are kind of all in this family line. And Jacob in our movie is in that descendant line. And he is coming to a very fancy, world-renowned sleep clinic to hopefully treat his disorder.
Right here in Prince George, or is it Prince George?
It is Prince George. It's set in Prince George. It is funded by Story Hive, so we set it here.
Nice.
And he comes here hoping that he can get a cure. However, it takes a turn, and we end up unlocking something new, which is where the horror element comes in.
Okay, I like this. Now, tell me about the filming process here for folks who don't understand. Like, taking a short film like this, it takes a lot of work, a lot of people on set. You got an all-local cast and crew. But talk to me about timelines and how they're all working together here, too.
Yeah, so we started on this probably, I don't know, 7 months, 6 months ago. And it's a script that we actually wrote 8 years ago.
Oh, really?
The writer, Ryan Muirhead, is a Prince George person. However, he lives in Vietnam now, and he's a horror writer. Mostly novels. He likes to write kind of comic stuff. But me and him have been working on, we have about 60 short horror films.
Okay, this is one off the list?
Yeah, this is one. And this is one of our favorites, and it's one that we've wanted to do for a long time. However, it's hard. There's a lot of set building. There's some creature effects we need to do. There are things in this project that were above our ability at the time when we first came up with it. And it's something we've had on the back burner and we've kind of always wanted to do. And then we finally had the opportunity to do it, so then we started prepping. And we had a whole bunch of meetings, getting everyone set, and then tried to build as much stuff ahead of time as we could, and cast everyone, and then here we are.
Perfect. You know? Okay, for folks wondering, this is going to be transformed into the short film. You have a timeline on when it's going to be released?
It needs to be done before Christmas for my distribution deadlines. I would like to have it done earlier than that so we can get it into the festivals. Typically with our films, we do a local showing. We may show this along with some other films. We don't know when that will be. We're going to try and do that before it goes to air so that people in Prince George might be able to be part of the test audience.
Ooh, spooky, spooky stuff. Thanks for your time today, John. I'll let you keep carrying on set here. I hear we're going to go meet a pretty cool part of your team, Nikisha.
Get to see the creatures. Maybe part of the creatures anyway.
Part of the creatures.
The hag.
Oh my goodness. We'll head up there. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Now, John alluded to some spooky things up in the makeup department here, and this is where we found you. Nikisha, thanks for making the time to chat today.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So tell me a little bit about what you do here on set.
So for pre-production, I did a lot of the effects and prosthetics. We've got some fake limbs and stuff that I made before coming to town. And then once we have our actors in, I do prosthetic applications. We got little guys like this. We got some other...
How does that work? You glue that on someone's face?
Yes, we'll glue this on their face. Right now it's just got a little bit of pre-painting on it, and then we'll airbrush them, get it down their necks, mess up their hair a bunch, stuff like that.
I like how you just think it's like, oh yeah, this is super easy. Like, how long? What is the process like to make one of these?
So I didn't actually make this.
Okay.
This is like a pre-made piece, but basically they'll take you into a lab. They'll do a life cast of your actor with the alternate, and then they'll take that and cast it, and then you have a person who will sculpt on the actor's face to make something like this with like clay. You cast it again, you pop it out of the mold, and then you have your prosthetic piece.
Interesting.
So something like this would take probably a couple days to make in the lab, and then once I get my hands on it, I go through and I pack it, I powder, I do my painting, airbrush, etc. application. Yeah.
Interesting. So even in so what is the funnest type of filming for you to work on? Is it something like this, a little bit of horror?
Yeah, anything with horror, because I get to do all of my out-of-kit effects and stuff, so it's always fun. Anything with gore, anything, the arms, stuff like that,
And now, who wears these?
I actually wear them.
You wear them?
Yeah, so since I live out of town, I wasn't able to cast another actor, but I could cast my own arms and make them. So we're gonna have them kind of attached to my own arms coming out, and I'm gonna be rigged up into the corner of a room. And I have prosthetics on my face and look all scary.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what is the hardest part of making all this up or doing makeup? What's the trickiest thing you have to do here on this production?
I don't, like, for the most part, it's all super fun stuff. I think just, like, keeping the timing. So stuff like when we're doing Brad's application, it's going to be a good 6 hours for him in the chair.
6 hours?
Yeah, so it's mostly keeping, like, actors comfortable, keeping them from sweating. It can get really hot sometimes, so.
Does it ever get old?
No, I love it. It doesn't even feel like work, so.
Cool. Well, there you go. A little behind the scenes here in the makeup department. Thanks for your time today, Nikisha. I know you guys are busy on set here, but can't wait to see the premiere of this one. We'll let you know on ckpgtoday.ca when we do hear about a premiere date, so you can go check it out here in Prince George.
Entertainment on CKPG Today is brought to you by the Treasure Cove Casino. Now that's entertainment.
We're almost a year anniversary here after, of course, the Jasper wildfire, and there's a lot of stories to be told out of this. A story of resilience, community coming together, and a guy is trying to capture all that. A guy that you probably have known if you've read the Prince George Post, Mr. Matthew Scace, joining us today. Thanks so much, Matt, for making the time to chat, and congratulations on the book here.
Thanks, Caden. Appreciate it. It's good to see you too.
Yeah, good to see you. So tell me a little bit about Jasper burning. This is a book that you wrote documenting a little bit about what happened. Take me through it.
Yeah, so I at the time, I'm at the Canadian Press now, and I was at the Calgary Herald when the fire happened, and I had been reporting from Calgary and working on some stories about evacuees. So I guess the way the book came together was that a publisher read some of my reporting and liked it and asked if I would do a short. It's a pretty short book, all things considered. It's about 100 pages. And the fire itself, I mean, getting to that, I think I speak for a lot of people at West that we were really paying attention when that happened. I think it was one of the most, I guess, I mean, personally, my heart was breaking when I was watching the fire. And I think a lot of people were just wondering what was going to happen. There weren't any journalists that were inside. So it was really a black box to sort of get, real information about what the state of Jasper was for a good amount of time after the fire had sort of come through and all that. So, I mean, we can talk about more specifics, but there's a lot of work going on still right now to rebuild, which we all know. And if you've been to Jasper, I think a lot of Prince George folks have since the fire. So there's a lot of work happening there. A lot of sort of assessing, giving it an autopsy almost to understand what happened and why, which is sort of what I tried to accomplish with the book. However perfectly I could, I guess. And then I guess people are just trying to get their lives back together. And I think that's really a work in progress, and it's going to take a long time.
Well, I just think books like yours, the one that you wrote, are so important to telling that story, keeping it going, because people won't forget once they see that in the bookstores. And you can get your copy, folks, if you're wondering. But when you go there, yeah, I feel like it's hard to understand exactly what happened because, of course, all the media are behind the fire lines. But there is that black box, a story to tell. And if you talk to the people that are serving you breakfast in Jasper, I mean, we talked to them when we're there. Everyone has a unique story about what happened, how it affected them. And I feel like as a journalist yourself, it must be super interesting to, I mean, yeah, you're used to putting it into a story in the paper or a website, but putting it into a book, well, that must have been a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to really get into it, because I think the one thing that I, as a journalist myself, like you only have so much time to really dive into an issue before you get sent to the next thing, really. And for this, I had time to do interviews for more than an hour, or even a couple hours. Like I went to Jasper for a little trip, and I spent an hour and a half with the mayor, and I spent a couple hours with the fire chiefs, and I really just got to sit with it and then make some calls back when I need some clarification. So I had a good runway to really get into it. And then same thing with people who had experienced it and evacuated, and who are either lost their homes or whatnot. So it was a really good experience, just as a journalist, to be able to be able to do that and then tell those stories in more of a long form sense. And I do think there's a benefit to be able to tell such a big national story in a longer form text, because you get these news stories throughout a whole week of an event, and you're trying to piece it all together. Sort of like your questions, like what happened to the wildlife? What were the firefighters doing at the time? And there were stories that were told in the news like that, right? Like it's not like they weren't, but synthesizing it into one piece is really, I think, a good way to tell a story.
The one thing I also was going to touch on here was you get to see the full empowerment of the community coming back, the resilience, the motivation to move on and get bigger, better, stronger. What was that like? I mean, when you go there, you kind of get a sense of it. But for those who haven't been, what would you say on that? And because that's kind of towards the end of your book, you talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I mean, it's a work in progress. It's interesting because I talked to people early on. Like I was writing and reporting on this book in August, so it was in the first month back. And there are people that I talked to who were, I guess, residents of Jasper who were not involved with, I guess, any recovery before the fire happened, because there was no fire. But suddenly those people that I'd been talking to on the phone were involved in certain ways, in like integral parts. They weren't just, I mean, they weren't just sort of like helping clear up the streets. Like they were planning the rebuild. And I think that can't be underscored. There are people who didn't have jobs like this before who are now like facilitating the rebuild of the town, which is very, very, very cool, especially for a town that's so small and so tight knit. Because it's a small population, but it's a really, really tight population of locals who either retire there or work there, and have lived there for a very, very long time. Because there's not a lot of turnover in Jasper. It's not like a city where people come and go all the time. It's people who have lived there since they were kids. The mayor, Richard Ireland, grew up there. He had a little bit of a break when he's younger, but other than that, he's been there his whole life, right? So it's very, very, very touching to see.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk today, Matt. Of course, for those who don't know, Matt used to work for the Prince George Post here in Prince George, moved on up the ladder to Calgary, and now is writing books about places we all love here in Prince George in the area, Jasper. So special to connect with you, cool Prince George connection, and I wish you well in the next summer. I hope there's no big wildfire stories that you're having to cover, but boy, you certainly turned it into a great book. So thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Caden. Appreciate it.
Post Your Pet has returned to CKPG, and today we're showing you another celebrity's pet as Celebrity Week continues. This is Slash's pet snake, Pandora, a boa constrictor. Now, Slash, the rock star, is famous for having a lot of snakes. He has had over 100 snakes since he moved to California from England. That's pretty neat. There you go. It's your encouragement to head online and post your pet for a chance to win this summer. Head online to ckpgtoday.ca and your chance to win a $1,500 prize package courtesy of our sponsors, Glacier Glass, Coop's Bike Shop, and Johnston Meyer Insurance, to name a few, folks. Head online and enter. Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV.
Prince George is going to have some representation at the 2025 Dance World Cup. We're so lucky to have a couple of the girls headed from Prince George and Judy Russell studio down there today. Callie and Georgia, thanks so much for making the time, you guys, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so how does it feel to represent on Team Canada?
It's so cool. It's a really good experience. I'm so excited. It's awesome.
Yes. There's going to be lots of cool adjudicators and like judges that we've never gotten to like experience before, so I'm really excited for that.
Because you guys are just used to Judy. Well, and others here locally,
Yeah.
of course. But it's in Spain, so you guys will be heading off to this real soon, I understand.
Yes.
Yep. Have you ever been to Spain before?
Never.
Okay, now what do you expect? Don't know, I guess.
Hot. It's supposed to be very hot there.
What is it like to be on Canada's team here? Is there have they been sending you instructions? Like, how does it work?
Every like approximately a month we go down for rehearsals for a weekend, and then during those weekends is when we learn like our choreography that we compete in Spain.
Ah, okay. And has it been a challenge? Like, you fly down, it's Vancouver, there you
Yes.
go? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that hard learning it to go off and on like that?
A little bit, but if you keep like just like going over it like every once in a while, it's like pretty good. Yeah.
And it's pretty tricky at some points because we are dancing with other girls from around BC.
Right.
So we have to like really focus alone when we're at our studio to rehearse our own. And then when we get to Vancouver, we really like work all together and fix their tiny little nitpicks of everyone's cleanliness of the dance. So yeah.
Just as it goes?
Yeah.
Now, can you give me an inside, like a little scoop here about what the routine looks like? Is there a particular song that it's to, or is that just super secret?
So we're in different groups.
Oh, you're in
Yeah.
different groups. Okay.
So Callie's doing more.
I have like a jazz routine, contempt,
Okay.
ballet. Yeah, it's like more of that sort of stuff.
And I'm doing tap, hip hop, and a showstopper. So
A showstopper. What is a showstopper?
so it's basically this big group so Team BC is learning all this choreography, and then when we go to Toronto for our last rehearsal, there's like Team Alberta and all of these other places, and we all learn the same choreography. So we're gonna combine it. So it's gonna be like this big Canada group. Because right now we're just our groups are just BC,
Gotcha,
and then there's
makes sense.
Alberta, but. We're all still a big team, wherever we are.
It would cost a fortune to travel if it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. Now, you guys are both long-term dancers at Judy Russell. Maybe take me through, I'll go Callie first here. How long have you been dancing for, and what made you start?
It's kind of a silly way that I started, but I used to just like look online, and it just like this one girl, I loved watching her, and she was a ballet dancer, and I was like, I want to be like her. So that kind of got me into dance. Like even when I was younger, my mom always asked me if I wanted to be put in dance, and I was always like, no. But then after that, I was like, I want to be in dance. And so that got me started, and I started my first year with just ballet, and I've really enjoyed it ever since then.
And what's your favorite? Is ballet still your favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And Georgia, for you?
I've been dancing for 14 years now. I started when I was 3. I did ballet tap combo at Judy's, and I just didn't stop since then.
The feet
I
just
loved
keep
it.
tapping?
Oh yeah, I love it. My parents were like, yeah, she's not gonna. They're gonna just keep her in there, make her noisy.
Keep her out of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, because I tried tap dancing, and it's pretty hard. So I don't know, like, what's the hardest thing you've had to overcome in your career as a dancer? Or does something stick out?
I think just not like, how do I say this? Like keeping your confidence up, because it's really easy to get knocked down, because especially with all the girls around you, like you just gotta like focus on yourself and like enjoy the people around you. That's kind of what I've struggled with the most, but I think
Same thing for you, Georgia?
Yeah, I feel like just knowing that you love it, and whatever you love, you just got to keep going for it, right?
Yeah, I like it. Okay, and now my favorite part of every interview is to ask this. What would your advice be to a younger dancer out there watching this, thinking, I would love to do what these girls are doing right now, going to Spain, representing the country? What would your advice, what would your tip be?
just keep going.
Yeah,
Just
they
believe in
totally-
yourself, keep going, working hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't like one style, try a different one, and maybe you'll fall in love with that style. And yeah, it's just, dance is so open and fun. It's just amazing, yeah.
Cool. Do you know, so your guys' dance in Spain, is there a live stream? Can people tune in? Maybe?
There is.
Okay.
You do have to pay for it, but
Okay.
There will be one. Yeah.
We'll find a way to get it. Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining us today, Kelly and Georgia. Good luck representing in Spain. How exciting. I hope you bring back lots of great memories, lots of great friends as well, because I'm sure it'll be a great old time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. We'll put the details online, a little bit of how you can find out how to watch as well on CKPG today, because it's always cool when PG represents, and these gals are going to put on a heck of a performance. So good job.
Thank you.
Taking a look outside of today's CKPG Snapshot from Jill Steyan. It's a black bear, resident of Sinclair Mills area. I hear he knows Penny Slim even as well, actually. But no, you can see here a pretty happy looking guy. Just peeked up to see Jill taking the photo and went, "What are you doing? What are you doing out here? Huh?" Lots of bugs on him though. Yeah, if you go out to the Sinclair Mills area, you have to watch out for the bugs. They'll carry you away probably more likely they would than a bear. But great shot here, Jill. If you have a snapshot, send it our way. Snapshot@ckpg.com is our email. Hey there, got an idea or a suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
Today we're looking at Chief Dornbeer, the last Dornbeer to retire as a fire chief here in Prince George, and he comes with some pretty cool accolades. I know he still watches the show today, so shout out to Mr. Dornbeer. But we'll take a look at the photo today and roll the tape in local history.
Looking back, 1999, a momentous day for the Dornbeer family because, well, they have a lot of history with the Prince George Fire Department, otherwise known as PG Fire Rescue now. But the last of the Dornbeers, there was 3 PG fire chiefs retired. Mike Dornbeer, pictured in the photo above here. He was chief for 7 years, but he served for 35. That is a lot of firefighting. Well done to the Dornbeer family. I know they're still kicking around town as well. Yeah, thank you for your service, sir. And yeah, shout out the momentous family in firefighting history.
All right, folks, we'll see you for more great stuff to round out the week tomorrow. Bye for now.